Hello, good evening, and welcome to another live stream. How are you doing all tonight? Welcome, Mr. Twatterford, Reckless Trist, Twinkle Chews, Slime with his massive ass, Mr. Vedros, and everyone else. Aloha from out of the new chair. What kind of chair? Does it sit well? That's of course most important. 5'6"? Yes. We can make that a meme too. Hello Duvel, hello Marlee. Everyone else as well. I want to sleep, but I'm here instead. I mean, if you want to sleep, don't let me stop you. I'm not that important. I think. Lounge chair. Nice. Very relaxing. So, last stream I was unfortunately sick because I got back in the Netherlands after being from Milan and I immediately got the flu. Well, not literally immediately because I was fine the day after and streamed, and then that morning after I woke up sick. So yeah, I'm better now, that's all fine, but it's not the greatest comeback to the Netherlands, let's just say that. Anyone caught falling asleep to this tree will be drowned. The thing is, we cannot catch Twinkle Chews falling asleep. Because who's gonna check? I'm not gonna check, I don't know where they live. Or do I? Anyway. Thank you for the 10 months, Sunset Fractals. Today, we are going to play a custom scenario called Vivian's World. If I remember correctly. Let me see where it is. Oh, Vivian's Dreamworld. Yep, should change the stream title then. There we go, that's more accurate. Yes, I know you're checking on me, Slime. You're always watching me, which is very relaxing. Anyway. We're gonna play Vivian's Dreamworld. And it says the proprietress of this estate wants to see record-breaking attractions. Put the beautiful gardens to work with some truly impressive roller coasters. Objective to have at least 10 different types of roller coaster operating in your park with a maximum length of 1,000 meters and excitement of at least 7. So, how this works, by the way, is that this is part of the Open Scenarios project, which is OpenRCT2 making its own scenario campaign, and there's an app for that where you get randomly assigned a scenario. So I got randomly assigned this, and I don't know anything about it, I didn't pick it myself, and now I need to play it and then give the feedback. And you can do that too, if you want to do some playtesting. Okay, so we can charge for the entrance. Can we charge for the rides? Yes, we can do both. Now that is a beautiful wooden coaster, which presumably fulfills the requirements already. It's definitely long enough, definitely at least 1 kilometer. Let's see, does it? Yeah, 8.25 excitement, 1734 kilometers. Then 1734 meters, not kilometers. Duckify Park. Ah yes, that's very important, otherwise we will not be able to beat it. Not mechanically, that's fine, but if we don't duckify, then I will not have the motivation. There they come. All of the duckies. So, outside of the park we mostly have, well, forest, which looks alright, nothing terribly exciting. Oh, we got a lighthouse. Well, that's a clever use of this Martian piece. I think it's just called Martian Object. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously inspired by being a lamp, but it's just called Martian Object. It's a nice lighthouse. There's a road, and there's more sea. This is, it's not an island, not a peninsula, it's just on the coast. And then we have a parking lot, which is nicely done. With some little flower beds and stuff. I like it. And then the park entrance to Vivian's Dreamworld. And then a nice big wooden coaster and some buildings. Which actually... Oh, these we don't own these. I just noticed. There's a park fence around it. So even if we wanted to, we would not be able to destroy this. This park seems cramped for to fit 10 1-kilometer long coasters. Yes, that was my thought as well, but that's part of the challenge, isn't it? That perhaps we can buy more land? No. I think it's supposed to be like if Alton Towers wasn't surrounded by dolts. What's dolts? I think it's supposed to be Vivian's estate. Yeah, probably. The proprietress of this estate, who's presumably called Vivian. Which I think this is really quite well built. I think this is clever. They used the graveyard stone, the headstone, as a chimney. That's clever. I would have never thought of that, but yeah, it works. Totally works. Dolt me stupid. Ah. I don't know all of my Britishisms. I do know Pillock, which is a wonderful world. Is this scenario made by Vivian? I haven't got a clue. I just got it randomly assigned by a program. So, I don't know. I don't know any Vivian in the community. I do know Vivillion, but that's a Pokemon. So, take from that what you will. Drown Vivian. Again, I don't think there's someone actually called Vivian. Let's have a look. Show real names. We don't have a single V name. I don't. Vivian is probably not even a possible name. I don't know. Even though I know a lot about this game, I don't know every possible name by heart. We'll drown guest 826. That's close enough to Vivian. And hey, they look like a duck and they're about to drown. Goodbye. Now the estate is mine. Do we have the cash machine available? No. That's what I thought. That's fine. Okay, we obviously need to research more roller coasters, because we only got 4 available and we need at least 10. We have drinks, food and piss. So, that's good. We can serve all 3 of those. Got some water, got some thrill. We got some gentle. I think the biggest priority is just go. Well, let's do a few stalls first. Just see what we get. Info kiosk could be nice. Not a lot of ride variety. Yeah, this is kind of like RCT1 variety. RCT1 levels of ride variety. RCT2 usually served you up with like 10 billion ride types from the start and then 10 billion more to unlock. RCT1 is usually a bit more relaxed in it. Okay, I see one stall here. Is that all we got? Yes. Let me add to that with, yeah, a lemonade stall. What do you call a French painter? Lemonade. Lemonade. Nee. Oh, you have multiple French painters. Is it even French, Monet? I don't know. I don't think that joke went as well as it would go in my head. Drink some water. Good plan. See, the thing is, I can't hear your reactions. If you find it funny, I can't immediately know. If you do it in person, it works much better. Anyway, we are definitely charging people to pee. 40 cents. Because we are poor. Most disappointing park in the country. Well, fuck you. Yeah, I know our park ratings are low. It's not my fault. It's going up. Why is the park rating so shite? Probably because people aren't happy. If we look at... yeah, I want to go home. Lots of sad faces. And if we look at the park rating inspector... yeah, we only get 260 from happy guests. So we could just hire entertainers, which is simple enough. But I'm just going to build more rides and see if people from being able to ride those can get happier. Is that a trans flag made of flowers north of the lake? This? No, it's not the right colors. I think it's just flower beds. Not everything is trans flags. Or gay flags, queer flags, whatever. Not that one. Oh, that one. No, yeah, this one definitely is. Right? Hang on, let me Google it. I always forget which order the pink and the... yeah, it's correct. I always forget if it's the pink or the blue on the outside, but no, this one's correct. So I'm still right. Not everything is a gay flower bed, but this one almost surely is. So you were also right on this one. This is south of the lake, by the way, not north of the lake. So your directions were wrong. Because if we zoom in, no, not that much. See this little thing that says N? So north is currently down, this little yellow letter. And it actually rotates with the screen. So now north is up. And actually this icon is changed, because in vanilla... oh, you know, shall I tell you a secret? This icon in vanilla is just kind of diagonally on it. And for the longest time, I thought that was a paintbrush. For many, many years, I thought that. And let me just show you. What I mean. Later. Shut up. So it should be in this video somewhere. I showed vanilla RCT. Okay, you can't see it there. It's a bit about double paths. Yes, here I think. Yeah. See, here in the top... oh, goddamn stupid title. Why does the title have to be in the way? Well, this icon, I'll move the mouse out of the way so that it disappears. But that icon, you can see that it's kind of diagonal. This thing with the north and the compass pointing towards it. And I, for many, many years, thought that was a paintbrush. You can now clearly see that it says an N and there's an arrow pointing towards, like a compass arrow, but I thought it was a paintbrush. Like painting the map, this icon. But yeah, now in OpenRCT2 it rotates. Which is great. It's useless, because it's not like North actually does anything in this game. But it's still great. Also, someone said I should check my research, but I already did my research, just not in time for the first one to be selected. So yeah, we got scenery, water feature theming. Oh, I do like that. Actually, why not use it immediately? There we go. So yeah, we do have a trans flag here. You know what the nice thing is about these flags, these flower beds? That if you don't know what it's about, like if you don't know it's the trans flag, it's just pretty colors. I'm gonna have to remove a lot of these flowers though to place my rides. Hope that's okay. Okay, we can charge a bunch for this. And then we shall build a junior. Just to make some money. No need to go big yet. Might have to drown a guest if they try to use the jumping fountain as a jumping fountain as a bidet, but that works so well. I speak from experience. Whoa, mama, that's a lot of ducks. It is. And if you have a problem with that, I suggest you call the duck police. Ah, good old rock style do. Oh, I'm still 1 unit too high. To build a junior is an interesting euphemism. You know, I never thought of it, but yeah, you're right, it is. Okay, we'll charge $8 for the junior. Aw, poor old merry-go-round is broken down. That reminds me, do we have staff? Doesn't look like it. Oh, well, we do have a mechanic. Park rating is going up. How old is this one? Fire all the staff. Well, you are predictable. They're already fixing... Oh, it was not... I said merry-go-round. It was the spiral slide. They were already fixing and I couldn't fire them while they fixed it. So the ride still got fixed. Okay, how old is this one? Built this year. Well, then we can charge much more than $6. How about 12? Name the next coaster you built the Iliad. That's like an old story, right? I don't really know what it's about, though. Add a photo section to the Woody for extra monies. Nah, I think it's fine. I don't need the money that bad. I'm not gonna sell photos of myself. Is the story before the Odyssey? I don't really know what the Odyssey is either, to be honest. I just know it's an old story. Ooh. Okay, we can do a big loan of 35,000, but we also have a high interest. So it is in our interest to keep it down. Odyssey is one of the best Super Mario games. I did know it was a Super Mario game. I've never played it though. Okay, we got the burger bar. That's not quite useful. Okay, how about we actually make a kilometer single rail coaster? By the way, there have been voices going up to design custom pre-built, like official pre-built designs for like the single rail coaster, the hybrid coaster, all those new coaster types, which obviously don't have any, and distribute those along with OpenRCT2. I'm not gonna build on the lake yet. And I'm definitely gonna be involved in that project in some way, be it either being a judge or being a contestant. But that's gonna be interesting. The Odyssey. Oh, that's why you want to name it the Iliad. I had not realized yet that this was called the Odyssey. I had no idea. Now it makes sense. I legitimately didn't know. Yeah, now the quarter falls. As we say in the Netherlands. The Iliad tells the war the Greek waged against Troy because someone from Troy saw the wife of the Greeks. Wasn't that Helena of Troy or something? On the RMC track design competition we'll get like 1 billion entries. Yes, we've been... that's been a concern. I mean, so far it's just been, you know, a few people, including myself, talking about it. It's nothing particularly concrete happening yet, but, you know, it's something that might happen at some point. Every time you load up a free-for-all server, they're always infested with RMCs and single rails. Well, if they're popular, that means they're good. They're nice additions. Hang on, I can't... Are these both in the same direction? No. I need a right. Yeah, no, that looks much better. Yeah, the single roller coaster is an OpenRCT2 edition. Hence why it does not have any pre-built, although... Are there any... No, I think every RCT2 coaster type has a pre-built, right? If only just one. Also, actually, I'm gonna try this because I think that that should work. You can now save ride designs with new elements. You know, I'm using 0G rolls, I'm using large corkscrews. You used to not be able to save ride designs with the new elements. Oh crap, it doesn't make that. But now you can. And I'll showcase that once I finish this ride. But isn't that amazing? We got so many people being like, why can't I save this? What's wrong with it? What am I doing wrong? Well, you weren't doing anything wrong. It was just impossible. And there was no reasonable way for you to know that. And there still need a lot of work to be done to make like a proper new track design format. But Gymnasiast created like a workaround that quickly works for now for this. And can stay in place for a few years until the proper solution is there. Now, of course, and that will be a TD7 file. You know, current track designs are TD6 in RCT2. And in OpenRCT2, if it's got new stuff, it will be TD7. Obviously, you cannot use those in either Vanilla or Classic. Because they don't know what a TD7 file is. But it works in such a way that if you don't have any new elements, like this junior coaster, it will still save as a TD6 anyway. So you'll still be able to still go backwards compatibility. So you're only gaining stuff. You're not losing any backwards compatibility. And isn't that wonderful? Hasn't Gymnasiast done a wonderful job of that? By the way, I can... First thing, I think I can rehire staff. Yes. I need that many handymen. And I can already name this Iliad. Yeah, the Odyssey. Oh, I should call this the Iliad then. There we go. This coaster is missing some penetration. Well, there are no loops to penetrate yet. And it does not have normal vertical loops. So we also can't do any penetration. As much as you would enjoy that. Because I know you would. I do know you. Doesn't this look nice? There we go. It's coming out of a hole in the ground. Looks very silly when it's just this one tile that's different from the rest. Okay, so far we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? I think the 5th might be pushing it a little bit. So how about no? This is definitely not yet a kilometer long. But a bit of helix work will help with that. Yeah, why not going into an inversion now? We can take it. Oh! Dive loop onto people. I kind of want a large corkscrew. Okay. How long is this? I don't think it's going to be long enough. I think maybe like 850, 900 meters. But we'll see. We start off with a nice vertical drop. Top speed of 90 kilometers an hour. A nice slow inversion that doesn't continue nicely. Whoops. No. Oh, that's gonna be excessive G-forces. Whoops. I didn't think of that. But I screwed that up. I've got 2 unsatisfying inversions, and here I've got excessive G-forces. Yes, and it's also, as I predicted, not long enough, and we're nearly out of cash. Well, we can borrow more. Okay, first off, this one needs to be the other way around. that. I think, yeah, that should be better. Yes. And then this one was also wrong. Although it does nicely follow from the turn, but then doesn't go into the dive loop nicely. So I can't make it fully nice. Yeah, this is how we had it. We could do it the other way around, but then it doesn't come nicely out of the turn. I still prefer this, I think, though. Okay, then we got the deal with... then we got the problem with the excessive G-forces here. Which is quite a simple solution. You know, we have some... We can just remove... one of the hills here. And then put some brakes. Which might be problematic for later on, but we'll see. We can always retest. It's not long enough anyway, so we need to alter the end. But let's first see if this brake is enough. Yeah, that's definitely enough. Oh, and it's still fine for here as well. But this ending needs to go. Because we need more length, Daddy. And that ain't gonna be free. It's definitely not gonna make that. Don't think it's gonna make that either, but let's see. Yeah, no. What we could do is just go underground again. Okay, now we can go under that. And then an ass bend. Motor section. And this ought to be enough. Is there a plugin that makes guests explode from excessive G-forces? No. They also cannot explode on the rides anyway, so even if you would do that, then they would experience the G-force, finish the ride, calmly walk from the station to the exit, and then as soon as they go through the exit, they would explode. So it will be a bit of a delayed reaction. The ass band should be called the slime band, but his ass is not beautiful enough to be combined with this, you know. His ass would ruin it. And 995 meters. Well, we need to be 5 meters longer. Okay, where do we get 5 meters from? I know. There we go, that's not very pretty, but it'll work. You just go around once more. Now we are 1047 meters long and we got 8.39 excitement, which is plenty. Thank you for the 49 months, Piscary. The Netherlands are amazing speed skaters. I watch a 1v1 with an American match with the female short track and your counter skate is dominated. I'm not sure what you mean, because there are no 1v1s in short track. It's all groups. But we did do very well. We got the most Winter Olympics medals ever. Well, for the Netherlands then. So our best Winter Olympics ever. Well, that doesn't quite say much because we do slowly get more and more winter medals available over time. But, you know, we are at our highest spot in the medal table ever, which does say something. Okay, we can charge 14 bucks for this. This one's too expensive. 5 bucks is already too expensive. Really? No, I think it's just unpopular. 5 bucks should be more than fine, because we only got one of them anyway. Sweet, now we can melt down all those gold medals and fix our economic crisis. We're fine. There's no problems in this country whatsoever. Is harder gas generation on? It feels like harder gas generation is on. For some reason. No, it shouldn't be. No, never mind. Because then this should give like 200 something. And like 300. No, I don't think it's on. I'm not gonna check. Nice thing about harder gas generation is that it works perfectly well with these kinds of scenarios, because these all are long enough and exciting enough to count. So these all basically count double, these roller coasters. So the single rail coaster, which I don't actually know how much it gives, but like 80 or so, is 160. And the wooden coaster's 105 is 210. I should actually build some stalls on this side of the lake as well. Destroy the lemonade stall, put a drink stall there. And how about Le Room du Bath? And how about the first info kiosk? Park goal, to build a few big coasters. A kilometer and 7 excitement. Okay, we got 2 of these right so far. I'm just gonna go roller coasters. We are paying quite a lot of loan interest. I think we're gonna be playing this park for quite a while, so I would like to start pay that back. By the way, you know what I just noticed? I mean, just today, not during the stream, but this number for the queue time, which has 4 minutes right now, it's not based on any kind of average or anything. It's literally just how long the most recent guest has queued. And if you got a whole bunch of guests that all have like queued very different amounts, you'll be able to see this change very rapidly as they all walk through the entrance. You do have a big, beautiful face, Slime. And I would like to enjoy seeing it in this chat all the time. What's the next stage of like live chatting? Would you be able to do like a live video call into the chat? Live screaming. Oh! But then actually loud, which I will not do. Geography trivia. Ooh. Was it gonna be? Everyone teleported to Marcel's room and watches you play in real time. Oh please, God no. I mean that's essentially what like live performing is, which video gamers do as well, so it's not really that revolutionary. It's just I haven't vacuumed recently, so you would all see my dusty floors. I once filmed a small narrow river with fast moving water, so I was live streaming a live stream. And if you were alive and peeing into it, you were alive streaming into a live stream that you were live streaming. We need more jumping fountains. I can do that. How about some here? It's a shame you can't combine jumping fountains with like a bench or a bin, because there's plenty of space. The fountain even goes over it anyway. What are the two national flags that use the color purple? Okay, so one is Nicaragua in the rainbow, and the other is Dominica in the parrot, I think. And it's both very small bits of purple. And the reason purple wasn't used very often, or practically never, in flags, is because it's stupidly expensive. Not anymore, but back in the day it was. And I'll show you. Go flags with purple. I mean, there's more if you do things other than country flags, of course. But this is the Dominican flag, and there's the purple in the thing, in the parrot. And the flag of Nicaragua. We don't get an image. Image don't work. Oh, we get it here. And it's very tiny. But there's a little bit of purple. The very bottom of that rainbow. It's like the tiniest possible bit of purple. But there is. And you know, there's all the flags with purple that are not country flags. I guess a variant of the Bolivian flag, but you know, you got some Japanese regional flags, Spanish regional flags, Indian regional flags. Yeah, regional flags are of course incredibly varied. Purple is a great color. The only country whose flag doesn't contain a single trace of red, green or blue, you mean red, white or blue, yes, you corrected yourself, is Jamaica. Yes, and until 2011, also Libya. And until also quite recently, I don't know exactly when, also Mauritania. which I think was even recently, more recently than that, used to be just green with a Cyclops face on it, and now it's also got a red top and bottom band. Okay, we're doing some income, that's good. You know what, I'm just gonna advertise. Because this is otherwise gonna take forever. And these people will generate us a load of money. Okay, we got 2 coasters done so far. And we now have a whole lot of people. How rich are these? 60? Okay, but there's a massive difference between 60 being the lowest and the highest. Another 60. Another 60. 80, that's a good sign. 60. 70. 90. That's good. That's very good. That means 60 to 90, and that's quite a lot actually. So I'm happy with that. That's quite good. That's quite good. Okay, what are we getting? We got the stand-up coaster. And we've also unlocked, I think the bobsleigh was new? Yes. Disgusting state of my paths. Well, I guess we'll need more handyman, which are wearing purple actually. Well, now we got double the handyman, which means double the fun. Because oh my god, those handyman know how to have fun. They know how to pleasure you with their broom. You know, they clean your entire house, which is the greatest pleasure ever. I do wonder, do like janitors, handyman, cleaners, those kind of people, do those on average have clean or dirty houses? Because I do know the stereotype of like a pro chef, chef cook, not like usually like getting takeout and whatever, because after cooking for 8 hours a day they can't be bothered to cook for themselves. And would the same go for cleaning people? They clean so much for work that they can't be bothered to clean their own home, or is that complete bullshit? I don't know. Fire all the staff. Damn, you guys really want me to lose today. Well, it's not really a way to lose this. There's no deadline. The only way to lose this scenario is to go so massively in debt that you can't possibly get out of debt anymore. But even that's impossible, because you can just delete every ride, fire all the staff, charge a bit for the park entrance, and eventually a guest will show up and make you some money. So, there are of course reasonable timescales. If you're a billion in debt, it's not a reasonable timescale to get out of debt, but it's impossible to lose this scenario if you have infinite time to complete it again. I feel like if you're someone who can clean heist for a living, it's because you hate mess. Or you're just good at it. But I don't know. Okay, to get a kilometer-long stand-up coaster, we're gonna have to be a bit more careful. Because the stand-up coaster is fragile. It's a very fragile little darling. You know, my staff is always purple. Ooh. New marketing campaigns. Lots of helixes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a cheat code. I'm not going to go zero inversion. That does make it a bit easy, although that also means you don't get a lot of excitement. Because, do remember, we need 7 excitements. And that's also not nothing. So I will actually do interlocking loops. Okay, how fast are we going here? Oh, that's pretty fast. Yeah, no, that's too fast for my liking. Okay, how fast are we going into the loop now? I want to go like 10 slower. I do want a faster chain lift though. Yes, you do. Yeah, that's a good speed. How's gaming? Gaming's pretty good. I've been enjoying Minecraft recently again. You know, I started playing Minecraft in, like, summer, roughly. Did a lot, built, like, good underground base, and then I kind of just stopped again. And now I picked up the same world and started expanding it more, which is nice. Have you ever beaten a scenario without using staff at all? Yes. Probably. Yes, I want to beat the scenario by just a balloon stall. So the answer to that is yes, I have done that. Oh, I'm not aligned at all. I need another 40 to reach my goal. 40 what? To reach what goal? I wonder if there's a scenario out there that could be beaten by doing literally nothing. Yes, there is. Hide the park. It's gonna take a lot of attempts, because the chance that you make it is quite low, but I've done it. And I've made a video about it. Oh, that goal. Oh, you want 69 months. That's gonna take you a long time. I can't even guarantee that I'll still be streaming then. Because that's more than 3 years out from today. But thank you for the 29 months. Can I hire staff again? Yes. I hope you were streaming when I hit the 69 months. How much how many are you on? I think I missed your 31 months, Tanner. 3/4 of an hour ago. My apologies if you're still here. 10 months Sunset Fractals, I don't remember that either. I might have acknowledged it. I don't remember, I don't know. And how many are you on, Duvel? I think either 63 or 64. Well, you know, I don't have any plans to stop streaming, but It's just that I can't look 3 years into the future. But less than half a year, yeah, I should definitely still be streaming then, because there's no reason why I would stop. Now there is a live ride stats plugin that would allow us to see how long our ride is by just doing the ghost test, but I don't have that plugin currently installed. Okay, that turn there is a bad idea. Okay, let's see. Maybe it'll be too intense, I don't know. I'm not 100% confident that it is fine, but the only way to find out is to test it. Okay, good speed. Ooh, that's a bit high, that speed, but we can always lengthen it a bit in between the two inversions if we need to. I wonder if this is a kilometer long. I think it's going to be around about a kilometer. We'll see though, we'll see. I don't think this will have 10 intensity, it doesn't look that intense. Ah, 1127 meters and it's 9.82 intensity. Not quite exciting enough, but we can change that. We only need 0.38 more. But then we go from 6 to 7. Have you ever tried building a park where the only way to get back to the right exit and entrance once inside is through the rides? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. You can't force them to go on a ride. A great stand-up out of nowhere. Well, I wouldn't really call this a great stand-up. It looks a bit ugly, but it functions well, I guess. .82 intensity. That's on the edge though. That's quite high. Okay, we already got a bit more higher excitement. We now got 6.70. Because we got that from the path being next to it, the queue line. And it's then of course the Beowulf. Oh, nice. I'm glad RST123 uses preset pieces. As cool as having more fine controls, I find myself struggling to build rides in games like Planet Coaster. Yeah, it's... I agree with that as well. I think Planet Coaster offers too much freedom. Now, I don't really think that, because I think it's just a different game. But for my liking, it offers too much freedom. I am very much a person that likes to have like a select few things and just go mad with that. Now, there's still a lot of depth, of course, to this game. But I don't need endless variability. Variability, not variability. Different emphasis. Okay, we need to make this more exciting. How about... fire? That'll make everything more exciting. That's what Jeremy Clarkson taught me. Fire and power and speed is good for everything. Let's see, how much did this help? That's another 0.05. That'll get you there. You can also just let it be and just build some other track through it. And we'll be fine, probably. Pick a coaster type to build. Well, pick one. Not one we already have. Beowulf is clearly the hottest new thing. Yes. Clearly, everyone's going on it. We should charge more for Beowulf. How much money would I need to give you to stop drowning guests? That's not a thing that can be bought. I just have the urge. Oh yeah, baby. Ah, feels good. Feels good, feels good. You haven't named the junior coaster, name it Gilgamesh. I did not even see that. Gilgamesh. Drown guest 726. Yes, sir. Or yes, lady. Well, no lady. No, sir. Whichever. Because not available. Maybe 1726? I could do 1726. 752. Okay, that's fine. You want a watery mine coaster? I can do that. I can just plop it above the lake. Anyone noticing a theme? Well, the original coaster in this scenario, which was already there, is called the Odyssey. That's where we got the theme from. So it's not something that any of us came up with. We are not original enough. We are just stupid followers. We are lame. We are sheep. You are all sheep. You are all dumb sheep, just like me. We're just following trends. You need to think for yourself. Wake up, sheeple. Wake up and realize how Chris Sawyer is controlling you. If I was able to think, I wouldn't watch Twitch. Good point. I am one of the people who turns you into a sheeple. What a theme scenery. You got it. Now we'll see what we can do after we build it. Why are we making only 4K from rides? Is that just the maximum that we can do? Well, this ride doesn't seem to be very popular. Hang on. Okay, now more people should go into the queue line, like stumble upon it randomly and such. And also gives it a little excitement boost from this head chopper bit, but that's not at all necessary. Yeah, no cash machine. How much are we currently borrowing? 26,000. Yeah, that's a fairly hefty loan interest payment. Okay, we did have problems with like rain every month here. That's part of the reason we didn't sell that many tickets. Because look at the shop profit. That's umbrella profit for you. Like 3,600 compared to 5,100 ride tickets. That's insane. So we are clearly in a cool and wet climate. Now, it looks like if it stays dry in June, we can make over 8,000. Let's see though. %. Did the loan come from a back alley? Well, you know those sharks, eh? By the way, earlier I was talking a bit about the queue time and the 6 minutes, how that changes for every guest that enters. It just says how long that guest has queued. Except that that number is massively wrong. Because you know, you might know that this customers per hour is wrong. The game doesn't know how long a second is, and it's actually, this hour is actually per 48 minutes. And then you also have, the same goes for ride time, by the way. Then you also have the running cost, which is, this hour actually means a year, which is 54 and a bit minutes. Then you also have the guest time in park, 16 minutes. I think that's like 51 minutes when it says an hour. This hour, 11 minutes, I think also the 51. There's another one somewhere where I forgot, which is like 50. So every hour is different. But this hour, the queue time hour, oh god, that's so incredibly wrong. That's like hilariously wrong. One queue time hour, when it says 60 minutes queue time, is depending, I mean that can depend, but about 26, 27 minutes. I haven't done the exact math yet. But when it says 6 minutes here, in reality it was like 2 or 3. Which is ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Basically what it does, it counts how many days the guest has been in the queue line, and it divides those by 2. Which means that a day is 13 and a bit seconds long. Depends on the month how long it is, but always 13 and a bit. So a day will be 26 and a bit seconds long. Or like a queue time minute, because it just divides the amount of days by 2. So it's hilariously wrong. Okay, yeah, without rain we can actually make a decent ride ticket profit. 9,000. I'm still gonna fast forward and pay back a bit more of the loan though. Just because it is a hefty loan payment. It is kind of hilarious how many things are calculated wrong. This 20% per year is not 20%, it's like 19.9%, no, 19.3% or something like that. I believe, top of my head, 100% would actually be 97.6. There are so many things that are close, but a little bit wrong. Oops. Forgot to renew the ads. What was Simon Foster smoking? Well, that would be the graphics guy. This is Chris Sawyer. Okay, is any ride too expensive? Oh, look at that, we got a full queue now. which partially it was empty because it had just rained a lot, I believe, when I checked this earlier, but I think my little alteration of the path also did it quite well. Because now there's a lot more people just happened to be stumbling upon the entrance and going into it for that reason. You know, part of the reason some of these are a bit wrong is that it's a lot easier to divide by 2048 instead of 2400. You know, there's somewhere in the code you would need to divide by 2400 to get to the correct number, but it actually divides by 2048. That's a power of 2, which means you can do it as a bit shift, which is a lot faster, and back in the day that was really, really important. It still is important. Although, for the queue time, he could have just divided by 4. Although, you know, I say he. This is the one thing I have not tested yet in vanilla. So, it might be that OpenRT2 does it wrong and it divides by 2 instead of the 4 it should be doing. So maybe it is more accurate in vanilla. You know, I'm still in, the video is still in progress. Okay, nearly done on paying back the loan. We again got rain this month. It's hard to find a month without any rain. We didn't get any rain in June. Well, look at that, it's raining again. It looks like in September we also didn't get any rain. But that's about it. In the past year we got 2 months without rain. And we are loan free. That's a good feeling. Drink some water. Good plan. When are you gonna make Minecraft content? I mean, I might do a Minecraft stream at some point in the future. I've done like 1 or 2 in the past, but I've done a Minecraft video in the past actually. But I don't think I will ever fully switch to Minecraft content. Although, never say never. Who knows? It's the UC in it. I don't know if this is supposed to be in the UC. Could be, but also could be not. Okay, how many coasters do we have? We have quite a few now. Let's go back to shops and stalls, see if we can get the cash machine. Thought it was New England. Does it say? Doesn't say. Might be in Ireland for all we know. Well, and how much Dutch people complain about the rain here all the time. This is clearly the Netherlands. Even though it doesn't rain that often here. Although, this morning I did the most Dutch thing ever. Because I had a birthday this morning. So I needed to get to the train station to get the train. It was raining. And it's not too far to walk, but it would take a bit too long for my liking. So I usually cycle to the station. But it was too warm for my big coat. So what I ended up doing was cycling with an umbrella. Which worked very well. Well, it didn't work that well, but it worked. It was tough. I'd never done it before, and the wind was quite hard, so I had to grip on it very tightly, and my hand was a bit sore at the end. But it worked. I got to the station dry. Isn't biking with an umbrella kind of dangerous? Well, I mean, it's not as safe as cycling with not an umbrella. Sure. But, you know, it was very calm because it was Sunday morning. At like 9 AM. So there were not many people around. I took my time. I cycled fairly slowly. Looked around carefully and all that kind of stuff. So if you know what you're doing, it's not that dangerous. And I'm Dutch. I know what I'm doing on a bike. Did you know the Dutch have more words for rain than Eskimos have for all weather? That's probably gonna be some random... Yeah, I mean, you probably made it up, but there's the fact that Eskimos have 150 different words for snow. Which is technically true, but that's just more of a quirk of the language. Yeah, it's a fun fact, isn't it? Eskimos have 150 different words for snow. Ooh, because they live in the snow. It's important to them. They have a lot of words for it. Fun fact. But then, the reason they have so many words for snow is because they live in a very agglutinative language, they speak, which just glues words together. So, what you would call yellow snow, they just call yellow snow. And one word. Or hard snow, or soft snow, or icy snow, or... You know, they are all one word, where in English, they're two words. And in Dutch often as well. So, it's just... Technically it's true, but that doesn't have anything to do with their culture. That does only got anything to do with their language. How to survive the Dutch? Stay out of Limburg. I mean, to be honest, that goes for us as well. No one should ever go to Limburg. I went there once. And I only barely survived. You got stalls, no more coasters. Yes, I know, I did that on purpose. Okay, the ads are newly up for renewment. Come on. One more day. There we go. Now, Limburg is quite nice. It's the only place in the Netherlands that is not 100% flat. Well, I mean, there's kind of like the Arnhem region, I guess, but Limburg got proper hills that are more than 40 meters tall. And there are hills, of course, not mountains, but, you know, it's at least a bit hilly. Is this a kilometer? I'm gonna head home and see if this is a kilometer. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go around once more. Like so. I'll give it a bit extra length. And testing time. Top speed 67. 67. And here it goes, just 9k an hour at the slowest. Which for any kind of realism is too slow, but it's fine. I don't care about realism. I hate banked turns when the train goes very slow. Down to 1 there. Wow. I mean, just look at this. Wait, what? How does that not make it? Is that the difference between like slightly different starting positions? Well, that's fine. We can just go up like that. We even have space for a photo section. Okay, how slow does it go now? 11. Okay, that's easily safe. Okay, how long is it? 1100 meters, 7.52 excitement. That's perfect. Alright. Did the ads already. We have yet to make over 10,000 in a month. Even though we got a lot more guests now, in October we didn't quite reach the 10,000 somehow. And it didn't rain. Add the mine train. Well, currently all the ads are done, so that's not... Do we have a name for the mine train? Do we have any kind of continuation of names of epics? Does it exist? A non-brown nice color scheme? Sure. There you go, this works. I need it. Okay. I have no clue what that is. But there you go. Okay, we're gonna charge 12 for this. You wanted the water and ice theme? Thou shalt have Ice Cube. The lake is ruined. Nah, it's fine. There we go. Lots of water feature theme. And this thing now has 7.76 excitement. Just missing ducks. Oh yeah, we need duckle. What water bill? You just don't pay it, you know. It's quite simple. You don't pay your water bill, and eventually you get cut off, and then you just go to a different water company. You say, I want water from you, please. And you don't pay that, you get cut off after a number of months, and you repeat that ad nauseum. The only downside is that you do need infinite water companies available, which I'm not sure if is entirely realistic. Ducks are very much loved, baby. Water bill is a foreign concept to most Americans and Canadian. Wait. You're joking, right? Because I do remember people talking about water bills on Reddit and whatever a lot. Electricity bill, water bill, that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't really get my bill because it's just automatic payments, but still. Just open your own water company. Yes, and you can steal from yourself. Yeah, I don't really get the water bill. I basically just, I pay a set amount of money every month, and then at the end of the year it gets, they see if I overpaid or underpaid, and then I need to pay or get refunded the difference. And if I overpaid or underpaid a lot, the monthly amount can be changed. Same goes for electricity and gas. And they just directly get it from my bank account. That's how it works, you know, a lot of automatic payments. I got that for my mortgage, I got that for all the kind of the internet and the phone bill and the water and the electricity and of course things like YouTube Premium and, well, I think I got my credit card. But you know, there's so many, all the kind of utilities and all that kind of stuff in the Netherlands and I think a lot of other countries just goes directly from your bank account, not even on a credit card, just directly wired from your bank account to the company's bank account. There's no card necessary for that. Can we have your bank account? Yes, my number is 1234 your mom. Okay, can we get more guests if we do that? Because then more people would randomly be stumbling into it. I would refuse to work for any company that didn't directly deposit my paycheck into my bank account. To be honest, so would I. But YouTube does that too. I don't know how it works in every other country. I don't know how it works in America exactly. Like, can you do that directly, or do you just do it with credit cards and stuff? I do know that for some reason, apps like Venmo need to exist, where correct me if I got this wrong, but I believe that Venmo works like you put money from your bank account into Venmo, and then you can use your Venmo account to pay other people's bank accounts. To transfer people to other people's bank accounts. We don't need Venmo or other kinds of services. I just tell my bank, hey, transfer 50 bucks to my mom's bank account, which could be at a very different bank. That doesn't matter, it all works. Taxes in the US are so silly. Stock sales reporting is so utterly bafflingly wrong, but the brokers have to know the right information. They just don't put it on the right form. They put it on a different form, so you have to sit through and match it up when you file. Yeah, I've heard people complaining about that. For utilities it's mixed. Some allow autopay, but only from bank accounts. Some allow it from credit cards, some don't allow it at all. I don't think it would be I don't know. I haven't looked it up or anything, but I don't think it's even legal to, like, offer electricity in the Netherlands, but don't allow all direct bank transfer autopay. Because surely no company that would not allow that would even survive. With Cash App, I don't need to get your member and account number, which I feel safer for not sharing. I mean, we have ways to do it as well. With the Tiki app, I don't believe you have to share any details either. Well, you do have to share it with the app, of course, but not with any people. But it still goes directly from bank to bank. Like, Tiki does not hold any money. We use an app called Tiki often, where it's just like, you know, if I pay 50 bucks for a mom, bought like a concert ticket or whatever, I can send her a Tiki, be like, hey, can you pay me 50 bucks? Which sounds similar to Venmo, and it is similar, but it's not the same, because Tiki does never hold money. Tiki is only the program that holds the information. so that it's a lot quicker. So I don't, you know, my mom doesn't have to give me her information. I don't have to go to my bank, and so that she can just click on the app, do a few buttons, type in 50, send me the request, and then I can just say pay, authorize, and it'll be fine. The Netherlands is pretty progressive when it comes to banking. Going to the ATM doesn't cost any extra money if you use a machine that isn't with your bank. Ah, right. I don't really go to the ATM very often. I always do have some cash on me, you know, because you never know, especially if you go to Germany. And it's usually, you know, once my cards were blocked. Well, they weren't blocked because the bank actually had IT problems, but I got the message it was blocked. So it was nice to have some cash. Didn't need it because I was with a friend, but if I was alone, I would not have been able to pay because of IT problems of my bank. I believe Tiki was developed in cooperation with a lot of Dutch banks. That would make a lot of sense. In Germany, it's still standard that it costs money to withdraw cash from the ATM, not from your bank. And you do have to withdraw cash often, because there are still a lot of places in Germany that don't take cards. Which I find utterly bizarre. Like, come on, Germany, you're a modern, Western, 21st century country, and there are still so many places that don't take credit card. It's sorry, you don't take card, either debit or credit, no. But which is so weird to me. You know, for once I'm going to use the holding brake for drop. Yeah, we created Ideal, which is so good that the EU stole it and made it into Wero. Why is the park rating not 999? There's probably a reason for it. Overcrowdedness looks to be one. And lowers happiness. Yeah, we only got 384 from happiness. Okay, how about we do some entertainers? That's laggy. Close the windows, please. I'm holding down backspace to close all the windows in rapid succession. There we go, they're being closed. Lag should go away soon. Lag's going away. Have we made 10? Yeah, we made 10,000 ride ticket profit in April, despite rain. Because the 2,300 umbrella profit, well, shop profit, which is mostly umbrellas, shows that we have had rain. You know what I also have in my home, besides cash, is a couple of bottles of water. Just, you know, a few 1.5 liter bottles stashed somewhere where they're not in my way. But, you know, just in case anything goes wrong and I can't buy water, or don't, you know, my water supply doesn't run for whatever reason, then I have a few liters of water. Which is the most important thing, because food you can go longer without. And if I got no electricity and no light, I can just wait until daylight to do stuff. And I got plenty of blankets to keep me warm. Not toilet paper. I mean, I live alone. Unless I'm about to run out and need to get new, I will have plenty. I only get toilet paper like a few times a year. What's the most Dutch thing in your house? I have orange gloves, which I took to Milan with me, but did not wear because it was way too warm for that in the ice skating hall. You pee and poo at work? Yes, I do. Because I work at home. My home is my work. Well, I actually know, because I kind of have an home office, but the rest of my home is not part of the office. And neither is the toilet, which is not connected to the office. But yeah, most Dutch thing in my home... Okay, my bicycle's technically not in my home. But it's a standard Dutch upright bicycle. I guess maybe that would count. I do own it. Stroopwafels. I do not have stroopwafels in my home, no. I guess Marcel doesn't see himself as Dutch. What do you get that from? What did I say that made you think that? Oh, but I don't own myself. Hang on, the most Dutch thing in your house. Am I a thing? I have clogs, those seem very Dutch. You have clogs? I haven't worn clogs in many years. I used to wear them quite a lot when I was a kid, but not anymore. You are a sexy thing. You know it, baby. Oh, they belong to your grandpa. We gave away most of the clogs we wore as a child to some old French guy on a campsite in the Alsace region. He collected clogs. Thank you for the sub. Twee. Do appreciate it. Okay, this should be a kilometer long, right? Drink some water. You're gonna have me water poisoned. Randomly got your videos recommended to me on YouTube and have been addicted ever since. Glad I was able to catch a stream. Well, welcome. Glad you're enjoying them. Wait, we're on 18 meters. That's on 7.5. I thought we were like pretty close in height, but... Nope. There's a massive hill there still. Which I didn't see. Yep. Isometrics got me once again. Maybe this teaches typing. I like it. I get your vibe. Shall I call the next one New Super? It is surely going to be the fastest coaster in the park. Let's see. Oh god, this was not a good idea, that minimum waiting time of 0. That's a terrible idea. I do like the flow of this. I think it flows very nicely. Oh, it's gonna make that. Oh, that's just a normal loop. Yeah, never mind, it's fine. But I quite like the flow of this ride. It flows well. Okay, those G's at the end are a bit high. They crashed. They didn't quite crash, but they did collide. Also, look at that. We got a rich bastard in the chat. Yeah, so if you do a no minimum waiting time, then they're gonna all just clog up at the drop thing, which is not a problem actually. The holding brake drop, it's not a problem. They're not crashing or anything. It is funny. You should check the stats, by the way. Okay, 1200 meters, 8.37 excitement, 9.2 intensity. That is plenty. Make this expensive too. Is any ride? Nope, they're all still getting guests, so none of them is too expensive. Tell a childhood story. Ooh, what's it gonna be about? The topic. Do you have a particular topic in mind? Okay, I think this is still not 6.85. It's getting there. Slowly, because we're getting a little bit of interaction here. About your crush. Well, this is from a very long time ago. There was a girl named Rosanne in high school, primary school, which I had a crush on. Eventually word got out, because I told a friend who told it on. And he also told me his crush, and I did not blab on him. So in that way I was the better friend. Roseanne, no, without the any on the end. That sucks. I mean, we were like 9 or so, whatever. It didn't really matter, 9 or 10. So it didn't really matter all that much. It wasn't a big deal. Imagine if she's watching the stream right now. Unlikely. Well, I mean, for one reason it's likely, because she's my age and she's Dutch. Which makes you much more likely to be into Roller Coaster Tycoon. On the other hand, she is of the female variety, instead of the male variety. And that makes you so much less likely to be playing and enjoying Roller Coaster Tycoon. It is something I've thought about, not her specifically, but, you know, old classmates and such. Do they know about me? Do they know what I do? Because I've been in the national news, right? So, there's a good chance that they do know what I do. But they also might not. Hello, Shroud Eye, welcome. I think it might be going too fast in that turn actually. Let's check. To be honest, I know of none of my classmates what they're doing. Well, a few, but because they're still friends. But outside of the few that I'm actively friends with, I know of none of them what they're doing right now. Okay, I think that's going to be on the very, very edge. I think it's going to be fine. This one's definitely gonna need multiple chain lifts to be a kilometer long. I wish I knew what my childhood pals were up to. Well, I know it of one childhood pal, and I'm not gonna go too much into that because first of all, I don't know a lot about it. Basically, we haven't talked for about, well, more than 10 years now. And if I am my mum who like talked to his dad or whatever, because for reasons, I heard that he's not doing too well mentally. You know, never really got his life on the rails, kind of. And maybe eventually we'll talk again. We didn't like have it. We didn't have like any kind of fight. We just kind of just stopped talking at some point. Drifted apart. But I do know he knows of me, like what I'm doing. And that's actually the very same friend that told people at school 20 years ago who I had a crush on. That's that same guy. This fantastic guy. I still see staff walking around. I missed that. So yeah, I should fire them. So I can only rehire them when it says 9 or 8 minutes ago. I'm not sure I told this on stream last time, but when we traveled to Italy, our very first stop, that was about 2 weeks ago, our very first stop was at a German gas station. Not to get a gas, of course, but just to get a little bit of drink and to stretch the legs and switch driver. And so we were inside the gas station, having just ordered something, and I got recognized. Some dude, roughly my age, walked up to me and said, "Hey, are you Marcel?" In Dutch, he was also Dutch. And that's not a place that I expected to be recognized at all. But yeah, that was fun. And it is fun when you get recognized every now and then. So for now it's fun when I get recognized. Then again, it's unrealistic that I will reach, a high enough popularity that's going to be very annoying, so I don't worry about that. That's only something I really need to think about if something crazy happens. What's your opinion of Breda? I have zero opinion of Breda. It's a city in Brabant. And my mom and stepdad went there for a weekend away a few months ago. That's all I know about it. So I have nothing to say about Brabant. Sorry, about Breda. Will it make that? Will it make that? It will make that. What do you think about Dongen? That's also somewhere in Brabant. And that's all I know about it. Dutch people are like plastic pollution. They're everywhere. You could be in the most remote location ever, enjoying some peace, and a group of people will be walking towards you and talk loudly in Dutch. To be fair, I was maybe like 50 kilometers over the border. It's not like I was deep into Germany. Of course, in Milan, you didn't fight a furry 25 stop. Oh, I forgot I had them. My bad. Of course, in Milan we found lots and lots of Dutch people. Because speed skating was there, so naturally. Even this chat is filled with Dutch people. Yeah, isn't that funny? Because we're talking about Dutch people being everywhere, and then you're talking about that on the channel of the guy that makes content in English about a thing that's extremely popular with Dutch people. If I didn't know any better, I'd assume the speed skating was the Dutch national sport. I mean, he's not the most popular. The most popular is still easily football. I don't think it is our national sport. Do we have... I don't think we have an official national sport. We do have a national color, of course, which is orange. Okay, is this a kilometer long? It's hard to judge with wild mice coasters. Since Dutchies are so obsessed with skating, why don't they do ice hockey? I have no clue. We are literally the best in the world, or one of the best in the world, when it comes to hockey. We are the best in the world when it comes to ice skating. But combine them and get ice hockey and we don't do shit. And I don't know why. I thought the national sport was pole vaulting over the canals. That's just a regional sport of Frisia. Called Viereljeppen. This is a very slow ride, this. And then a very much needed second chain lift. Okay. What kind of stats does this baby have? Ooh, 1009 meters, but it is too intense. Slightly only though. So we can easily change that by, for example, because 22 drops is quite a lot. I'll just remove 2 of them, that should be good. Oh, there go all the ducks. Yeah, 9.93 intensity, 1007 meters long, that's good enough. Yeah, that's the problem with wild mice coaster types. Because everything is kind of smaller scale, right? If you make a 500 meter ride or a 1 kilometer ride, you're gonna have naturally more drops, more turns and stuff than if you do the same on like a vertical drop coaster or a looping coaster. And that stuff still gives a lot of intensity. Okay, now I can definitely hire staff again. And I lost a lot of guests. Lost a lot of park rating. Lost a lot probably of income. So the park is properly ruined. I'm just gonna do full ads because I can't be bothered to renew them every 2 weeks. I kind of forgot that as well. And maybe one of the rides is too expensive now, who knows? Oh god, they're all broken down. That doesn't help much. Can you speak Dutch for 5 minutes to piss off the English people? Nee, dat ga ik niet doen. Okay, all the rides will soon be fixed. And then we're gonna kind of restart the park because it was like half shut down. Whoops. Oh, we need this to be chained as well to prevent crashes, I guess. If they're close together or something. I guess we need a minimum waiting time because otherwise they can catch up. So how about a 6-second minimum waiting time? The course is long anyway, so... I said 6, not 7, you idiot. Charge more. 20. People are gonna be broke so quickly in this park. People are all weaklings, not going on the rides when it rains. Okay, is anything too expensive? No, they all have guests on them, so none of them are too expensive. Has the Efteling been recreated in RCT? Yes. I don't know by who, I don't know, I've never seen it, but I'm sure it has been done. Like, that's such an obvious one that there's no chance it hasn't been done. Okay, do we have a cash machine by now? Yes, we do! Baby, we're gonna be rich. We have researched so many shops that we don't even have any shops anymore available to research. Oh, I should fix some vandalisms. Okay, 10 cash machines is probably enough. Of mainly broken lamps. Maybe there's not. Maybe there aren't any benches. Otherwise, we would have seen benches. I haven't really paid much attention to what there already was. Honestly, benches are probably a bad idea anyway. Especially in play for right scenarios. No auto repair for broken furniture. Nope. Okay, our guest count should shoot up now. Oh, that money sounds good. You should also check the excitement of the stand-up coaster, because that was at like 6.7 when we first built it, and I was like, it'll raise eventually when we build like other rides around it and stuff. And yeah, it's 7.23 now, thanks to the queue line and the ride of the Wild Mouse. Queue line is the track of the Wild Mouse coaster. So it does work. I mean, I knew it would work, but it's nice to see it in action. No name on the Steel Wild Mouse. I don't think anyone's named it yet, so... Also, a first aids room would probably do well here. I can't put it across the exit as I should, but I can put it close to it. I could also change the paths and put it across it anyway, but I don't want to. Max, welcome! Thank you for the 64 months, 2 to the power 6. That's a good number, isn't it? I made melon tiramisu. That sounds good. I need to buy a melon. I want a melon. But yeah, that does sound good. Okay, how about just a massive... Oh, it needs to be a kilometer long. God, that hill is taller than I thought. I wonder if this is gonna be a kilometer long. I probably will need to adjust the height of these things, which is fine. Okay, that's not safe. It's probably gonna be going way too fast over 1 or 2 hills. But we'll see. The first one should be fine though. Well, that's still quite fast. Ouch. Ooh, ow. Eee! They're going faster and faster. This is ridiculous. That's gonna be like -4 Gs or something. -3.5. It's also not quite a kilometer long, but it's close. And I can easily change that by just making these hills a bit taller as they should be. Okay, how about now? .16, but it's still exciting enough. I do want it to still be low. I mean, we can launch it like 2 slower, for example. Oh, then it doesn't make it. Okay, how about 148? Okay, then it does make it. This one definitely needs to be 1 taller as well. And that one still needs to be taller. Fine. So is that one. Yeah, 9.83 intensity and 9.45 excitement. Baby. And only minus 2.7 negative Gs. €20 ride ticket. Oh, they would pay up to 30 for this. It's just that we can't charge that much. More than 30 probably even. I don't have my plugin installed currently, but a lot anyway. I think this coaster would be the appropriate to be colored salmon pink. Fair enough. This looks bad, so never mind. Well, this looks worse. Yeah, this looks alright. Yeah, and suddenly we're going to be making a lot of money. Because suddenly guests no longer be leaving. Ads are almost up. Mystery flash ride. That's what I call my dungeon. Make sure at least one guest leaves. Permanently. Goodbye. We can barely see you because you're obscured by water, but that's fine. Still gets me going. Yes, 69.29. You couldn't see this, so that one doesn't count. Hey, I saw pixels. Just the fact that you are blind and can't extrapolate from a few pixels is not my problem. Right, we already have a Woody. I don't need another Woody. How many do we have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Need 3 more. Put a bit of Put his shoulders in that. Always increase the chain lift. I mean, that you don't have to do that. I always do it. Okay, how fast will it be going in that loop? That's important. Okay, that's a bit too slow for my liking. So we do it like that. Yeah, I think that'll do. Yeah, interlocking loops. Baby! That's what we do it for. That's what I live life for. That's what I stay alive for. Interlocking loops. They give me vitality. Okay, what on earth was quote 891? It's like putting your car in honey and then being surprised when it won't drive. Marcel explaining his chaos. What on earth was I doing? What game was I playing? Why did I say putting your car in honey and then being surprised it won't drive? I mean, it makes sense. That would be a stupid thing to be surprised about, which is obviously why I said it. But the context is lost to history, presumably. Unless one of you remembers, which I highly doubt. Maybe that one game where you type words to invent new words. I did 1 or 2 streams of that, Infinitecraft or Infinitecraft. Where at some point I made like super baby Jesus Trump or whatever. You get ridiculous things there. I saw a speed run of people trying to get to like various words, and one of them was girlfriend, and before they got to girlfriend, they got to teen pregnancy. Which is not good. Is this a kilometer? Don't think so. Oh, whoops. It's not making that loop. Okay, you know what? We'll do some boosters. What number coaster are we on? This is 8. Okay, this should now be fine. With a bit of extra speed. I think Twilight fits the theme here. We already have a ride called Twilight. It's the Mine Train coaster. Also, Twilight mostly fits the theme because it's black and it's raining, and neither thing is going to be the case forever. Because I don't want this thing to be black. There we go, that's better. Yeah. This should be fine. Photo section. Is this a kilometer long? Oh, it's 1500 meters. That's well long enough. Nearly 8 excitement. That's a proper ride. Connect this up like so. And of course connect it this way as well. Yeah, we need 1k of length and 7 excitement. There we go, that's now all connected up. And of course, we need a cash machine. And need to charge 15 for that. And suddenly we be making a lot of money. 18,000 from rides in July. Then only 15,000 in August, but also 6,000 from umbrellas, which is a lot of money. Our cash machines have already been used. Well, that's gonna be about 1,000 times in total, which is 50,000 bucks, which is not all been spent yet, of course, but that's a lot of money. Oh. I write of your name. Who said that? Ligua. Ah, you're the Twilight. Okay, then Hamster, Huey, and the Gooey Kablooey. Where is that from? I have a vague memory of having heard that before. I don't think I can do that actually. I'm stuck at the Gooey Kablo. Because I've run out of space. Run out of characters. There's not enough characters, my friends. Well, nothing we can do about it. Let's do a hyper twister. Use the right editor. I only have the right vehicle editor. Can that do that? Or do I... Need the right editor for that. That's the one I mean. Where's the rename button? Oh, you have an old version. Oh. Well, I can't be asked to get a new plugin at the moment. So that'll be next time. Really gotta cram these last two. Not really, we can just kind of build above the park. Hey Mads Mallow, welcome. Good to see you. How have you been? Well, this spaghetti, are we playing Factorio? Then you have not seen some of my parks, my friend, if you call this spaghetti. This is like a few strands compared to my hyper-dense parks. Spaghetti for dinner tonight. Nice. What kind? Because spaghetti is kind of saying I had a rice for dinner tonight. Saying I have spaghetti. There are many different kinds of ways to decorate your rice into your spaghetti. Okay, how fast is it going here still? Reasonably quick. Oh, there goes the there go the ad campaigns, which we don't need anymore, but they're nice. That's already gotta be inching towards a kilometer, right? Inching towards a kilometer is just so wrong, because it's using metric and imperial in the same sentence. It's almost like I'm British when I say that. Okay, it's time to head back to the station. Ta-da! Ooh, speed of 101. 98 here again. Centimetering to kilometer doesn't have the same ring to it. True, inching does sound nicer. Next time I'll just say I'm centimetering towards a mile. Stretching towards a kilometer. That's not the same word, inching towards and stretching towards. Like if I'm very slowly walking towards something, I'm inching towards it, but that's not stretching. Inching basically just means moving slowly. Well, this thing is 1500 meters long, got 8.7 excitement. Creeping. I'm edging a kilometer. Oh, I like that. I'm just edging everything all the time. Hey, we got a twister available. Let's build a twister. Furiously fapping a mile. I mean, eventually your hand will have traveled a mile. Takes more journeys for some than for others. Every stroke is a marathon for you. Then you have really long arms. If you can do that. Oh, oops, the manor is in the way. Where are my manners? What type of coaster is the Iliad even? I think that was the single rail, yes. How much are we making now? Ooh, we broke 20k in March. Okay, I think this is already edging towards a kilometer. How about we put some brakes here? And how about some more brakes? Photo section. And then this ride is done. Unless I've screwed up the G-forces somewhere, which is very well possible. Like there. Alright. Lol, it's slightly too intense. With minus 3 Gs and positive 8. You know what? I'm just gonna remove this entire second launched lift hill. Still gonna be a hill there, but it's not gonna be launched anymore. Make it go at a bit more reasonable speed. It's still gonna be like 6 Gs, but that's better than 8. This coaster needs you to be an astronaut. Even astronauts don't do 8 Gs. They do a lot of 3 Gs, although for a very prolonged amount of time. It's funny that people... I've seen things like, ooh, when you're like in this roller coaster or in a jet, you experience G-force higher than an astronaut. Yes, but astronauts experience it for minutes instead of half a second. Okay, 9.12, that's good enough. That's the queue line. And that's our exit path. And with the 3 and the 2 and a 1, there we... Oops. There we go, we have beaten Vivian's World. By making it really ugly. I had so much more space to like build compact coasters. There was, you know, still a ton of space, like here for example. But in the end I just built kind of 2 coasters above the park around it. Now it can't be fixed. It ain't broke, so I don't need to fix it. We can just replace it if it's broken. The best value park in the country, you know it, baby. Yeah, we don't charge anything for the entrance, so it's always the best value park. Ooh, we make 24k in June even. We have a ridiculous budget right now. Should save. I've not saved yet. So, I want to thank you all very much for watching. For enjoying this beautiful park with me. And let's see who we can raid. How about Celestia? Ooh, it's intended for certain audience. It may contain drugs, intoxication, or excessive tobacco abuse. Well, I think you guys can get it. I think you guys can take that. Right? So, thank you for watching. I'll send you over to Celestia. I'll see you again on Wednesday. And a bit good. Bye. Don't forget the last drowning. Oh, hang on. Right before the 21. They're not in the park anymore. This is the closest I can do. Okay, goodbye. Oh, I didn't even press enter on the raid yet. Whoops. No, I did. Goodbye. I'll see you later. Have fun at the ride.